February 24th, 2026. It's 10 a.m. and we're here for our monthly department head meeting. We'll go from reverse this time. We'll start with Randy, building maintenance.
Okay, so this past month I've been working with the Car Safety Committee, getting prices together for them. So I pretty much have everything together now. I'm just waiting for you guys to give me okay on some of those. Third floor lobby, the chairs up there were looking pretty disgusting, so I've finished them all. They're all looking brand new again. So stripped them down, restained them, and give them a good coat of urethane, so they should last us another few years. Got Northwest Electric out and fixed the airport gate. And had a major issue with the bathroom in the basement. We got it fixed. Roto-Rooter had to come out. We had a butterfly valve fail and fall and go into the pipe. So they ended up coming out and having to do a major deal to it. Then they ended up getting their camera stuck in it. So they had to go and get another piece of equipment, come back and get their camera out. But right now we're just waiting on having on a valve I had to order because the valve needs to be replaced on it. Okay. So as soon as I get that, it'll all be back to order again. Other than that, just regular day-to-day things and snow removal.
Okay. All right. Any questions from commissioners?
No. Well, I would like to comment. Did we get the camera out?
Yes.
That's too bad because we could have made a YouTube channel for that or something. And probably got some viewership.
The gentleman's got pretty pale when it happened. He was like, because $15,000
camera
on the end of that. Yeah. So what happened was there's the two flappers in. The one flapper pushed up, and when he shoved it underneath it and pulled back, it closed on it, and he couldn't. Because the camera's bigger than the cord for some reason. You'd think they'd put a taper on it or something so that wouldn't happen, but they will now.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I haven't been here in a bit. I was on vacation in December, and then I was in Boise at the IAC in January, so I haven't been here for a little bit. But P&Z wise, we've been exceptionally busy this winter because of the lack of, I don't know where you've been plowing snow, but the lack of snow. Just kidding. We've, with that, we've taken in between December and January, and so far this month, over 18 permits for homes and barns and whatnot. And to put that in perspective, through those months, we typically get 3 or 4. And so that's a pretty big increase in the number of permits that we're still processing, which is then, just making everything else we do during the winter that much more busy. And we've been working through a couple of conditional use permits, an appeal hearing process, and then we've been starting to follow, there's 3 or 4 state legislative bills in the works that have some pretty significant impacts to the planning and zoning world. A lot of them have to do with accessory dwelling units. There's some push for multifamily zoning to increase the ability for higher densities. There's some fairly good concern with that because much of what so far has been presented might be good for cities, but wouldn't be good for counties. And so there's a lot of consternation amongst the planners of the state trying to, fix the cities, don't fix the counties if they're not broke, kind of a deal. So we are watching those, and as we experienced last year, there was 2 or 3 or 4 bills that came out that had us do certain things like adopt new portions of ordinance and come up with new procedures for how we handle building permits and stuff like that. So it's critical to how we're follow those and have a voice, and particularly some of these that are the high density ones are certainly problematic for communities like ours because we don't have the sewer and the water or the traffic impact or the fire and EMS capability for super high density residential. While we want more residential, we don't have the ability to go as high as they're proposing. So being active in that has been a pretty time consuming thing. I've been involved in the courthouse security committee as well. Haven't been terribly tasked with other than going to the meeting so far. Sean and I are tasked with coming up with some training and some exercise opportunities to try to exercise our plan and make sure employees are trained and have an understanding of what to do during an emergency event. And then if there's some other training that comes along with some of the new policies we're going to have with entry of the building and whatnot, we'll be on board for that. I've been monitoring a couple of projects out at the airport. In particular, there's a perimeter fence project We've been in the works utilizing the FAA grant. Colleen has been doing the heavy lifting on that one, and so I'm appreciating her for that. But we've been following up on that, and the engineering company's been going through the steps with the grant, and we've just recently signed that agreement, and they're starting the surveying, and the process for the bidding process will go out in March, and then the anticipation is late in the fall, the fencing project will take place. The keynote with that is, with this process, we've been years trying to acquire land north of the airport from DEQ, where the new little campground is for Idaho Parks and Rec. There's always been a plan in our master plan to expand the airport and hangars to the north of the road and then to that western end. And so part of this process will enable us to get the surveying we need in order to request that land and that lease from DEQ. And so the process in the next few months we'll now have some control of that land and then be able to expand the airport with some more hangars and obviously some more revenue. So we're working on that. A handful of other land use projects I'm working on. Probably can't disclose them here, so I won't. But emergency management wise, we've been pretty busy. December was an interesting month. If you weren't aware, we had 3 disasters that month. The flood disaster was a county disaster. It went to a state disaster. And region-wise, it didn't get big enough to escalate to a federal declaration. But what that means is those repairs that the Public Works Department in particular have been making related to the flood damages, that's a 50% recovery rate on those things. And then a week later, we had a windstorm event that pushed all those water-soaked trees over, and we've had a significant issue with the windstorm. That has it has yet to go to federal declaration. The state is still working on the cost analysis for the region. The northern 5 counties in particular sustained substantial damage. And so they got an extension, and we anticipate it was supposed to be mid-February. It's now later in February, but that declaration should come soon. There's a little skepticism coming with that, and I got a meeting tomorrow with IOEM to discuss the federal funding issues with the Bureau of Homeland Security, what that means for a potential partial shutdown, and whether that, how that affects our funds, in particular the SHSP or the EMPG. We so far think that it won't affect those monies because those monies have already been allotted and are already accounted for. It's any new monies that might be on hold, and so if we had a new grant, which we don't. So I don't think we're going to be terribly affected by the slowdown in funds or the potential shutdown. But we are watching that. And again, the windstorm was likely to go to federal declaration because last we knew, they were pushing over $10 million worth of damage throughout the region. And so 3.6 was the threshold that everybody had to meet, and so we think that not good. The benefit of that is, of course, that it goes from a 50-50 match to a 95.5% match. And so we get 95% of that money back that we've already expended. And those costs are ever growing with us because they continue to clean up trees, and they're going to continue to clean up trees as the weather opens up. We still have a couple of roads that aren't open, and Moon Pass in particular, Kings Pass, and even parts of Thompson Pass. They have yet to be worked on to clean up trees on it, so there'll be more money coming. We got awarded a grant that we applied for a little more than a year ago for the multi-jurisdiction all hazard mitigation plan, and that is the big plan from FEMA requires us to have to be eligible for this federal disaster funding. But in a nutshell, what that plan does is it incorporates the 7 cities in the county to put together a list of mitigation projects to protect us, to help prevent damages and help be resilient to those damages. And that plan has been needing to be updated for quite some time between COVID and just government shutdowns and whatnot. There's been a lengthy process in getting it approved, but we just recently got that done, and we recently signed the agreement to start searching for the contractor to help us rewrite that plan. And what that plan does is creates a list of projects that are then eligible for FEMA-related hazard mitigation grant money. And so those projects are fixing culverts, fixing bridges, fixing hazardous or utility structures like pump stations to look at to protect them from flooding, those kinds of things, and that money can be paid for with those projects. So, other than that, we're still chiming away on the SHSP projects we have going. I'm closing out the 2023 grant now. There's an 18-month deal on that. So we recently upgraded our emergency notification system with the HyperReach. So if you're not part of that, that's how we send out an alert that tells you something's happening, and that's through the sheriff's office. Hyperreach.com. It's a pretty simple app. It's free, and it's free to sign up for your area or any other area that HyperReach is in. So if you want to sign up for where your kids live, you can figure out when they're getting notices as well. So it's a pretty neat program. We got that completed. We're in the midst of finding out a new little thing from FirstNet, AT&T. It's called an ROIP. It's a radio over internet protocol. And basically it allows us to turn our two-way radio system to funnel through our cell phones, through the apps. And so they'll be able to funnel that out to emergency services and utilize their cell phones when their two-way won't work or vice versa. And so that's a pretty neat deal there. So other than that, the rest of the money is still slated for a repeater project later in the spring for Dunn Peak. That's already in the works. We're just waiting for weather. And then the rest of the 24-25 money will be spent on that. So, and that'll greatly increase our ability to communicate, particularly over into the St. Joe Avery area. There's probably a few things more, but that's it.
All right, thank you. Our grants.
So it's been a lot of just grant writing over the last month. I did submit 3 grants over the last month. I'll go back to January. So the bus had it threatened to become a convertible in January, one of our 3 buses. It was the oldest one that was slated to be replaced next year anyway. But in reaching out to Idaho Transportation Department about alternative funding, do they have lines on some buses that are out there, because we can't run on just the 2. That's going to kill those other 2, and one of them is fairly new. It's still got several years left on it. They did invite me to submit an application for the capital projects that had closed in December. So fingers crossed, that's plan A. Plan B, they do have some discretionary funding that may come out this summer, but that wouldn't be available until 27. So best case to keep the fleet in line is to hopefully get this one, but we won't know that till about May or so. So had 2 applications with ITD, the regular operations that we do with the bus, and then this 5339, which is a capital expense, which would replace that bus. So fingers crossed we get those going. I submitted a second energy grant, like we did for the windows and doors with Idaho Department of Energy. That one's for $23,000, and thank you, Randy, for putting together so quickly what we needed on that. But it'll be repaired, doing a whole lot of cleaning and repairing in the system, so it'll open that up, and it'll update repairs and upgrades. It'll update software. It'll clean out all of that, and so it will make it more efficient, because the airflow will just move a whole lot better. So it was definitely justifiable. I haven't heard on that yet, but hopefully it'll be kind of the same thing. But it's a quick turnaround, so it has to be done before the end of September. And I spoke with CSN, and they can do that in that time. And then our CLG is almost done. Certified local government, that's in partnership with the city of Wallace for the balconies. About had a heart attack on that one, but we're almost done with that plan. They have come out with what it will take after they've done the inspection. Good news, there was no asbestos or any kind of contaminants that we have to worry about, just the potential of lead-based paint, so which is probably to be expected on something that size. The balcony out front, the west balcony is in good shape. They did some shoring on it this last winter. The front is a major concern. There is deterioration, and so we'll start seeking with this plan. We'll see what kind of other funding is out there. But they did prepare a phased report, so I'm going through that right now, and then we'll present that to SHPO to see what they think of it and kind of move forward from there. Because we'll have to get money for that. We have enough to pay for this first little bit, but it's a sizable project being a historic building. Yeah, that was kind of the main stuff.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So in probation, we've been busy. We currently have 5 participants in our specialty treatment court with 1 new application. She'll be coming in today to complete that. We have 37 active misdemeanor probationers with 12 or 13 outstanding warrants. We have 11 juvenile probationers with a couple of petitions pending, so the potential for a couple more. And we are now up to 5 participants in the ILED program, with 2 new participants just starting over the last couple weeks. So our numbers are increasing slightly, but still manageable. Something new with our on-site testing, I don't know if you've noticed, but with absolute closing, we've been doing a lot of testing here at the courthouse. I worked closely with the clerk and with the judge, and we were able to start charging fees for testing, so we can recoup some of those costs in the probation department for the supplies for the testing cups. So that's good, and that's been going well. We just started that here in February, so I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think we should be able to sustain that program, at least for the supplies and for the confirmation tests and those things. So that's, and the clients have received it well, so we haven't had a whole lot of pushback, so that's good. And then with Terry's impending retirement in March on the 24th, her and I, we did receive a few applications, and we conducted some interviews last week, and we have selected our new admin assistant to replace Terry. She will be starting next week to get a couple of weeks with Terry to train prior to Terry's departure. So that position has been filled, and we are still advertising and looking for a deputy probation officer. But in the meantime, I think things are running smoothly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, 5 ILED. Looking at our main situation right now is sustainability for this program. We have 2 active suitors, would be the best term for this, that are competing for this program, which is great. That would be SMC and Panhandle Health. There's another potential source that I'm going to check into just so that we have good options for this program moving forward. In March, we hope to have a very clear idea so we can begin to transition the program from being housed here to being completely housed and funded from another entity. So we want to make sure that goes very smoothly for all the clients involved. My caseload has fluctuated. I was down last month, but now I've regained at least 24 clients right now. And intakes for assessments have been relatively high with 3 a week. And so we're helping a lot of people and getting a lot of people pushed through. The one that's coming in for her today will also be coming in for me. So that's another assessment, another cost reduction to help to get her into drug court quicker, treatment court. So we are moving smoothly. Population is growing, and we have a lot of very good avenues for sustainability. I feel confident that this program will continue to exist in the Valley. I just don't know where it will be housed yet, but with the offers that we have, I do have complete confidence that we will continue to exist. So that's awesome. But yeah, that's us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Rhodes?
Kind of last minute here for me to show up, but I want to start off by saying we received 3 of our 4 sander plow trucks. Been 3.5, 4 years in the making. Huge asset. They couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, we haven't had a hard winter yet, but we're already using them. Nice little machines, working out the bugs on them right now. So we're still waiting for 1 more that's down in Boise getting outfitted. A couple weeks. That will be in Smelterville once it arrives. So Murray, my district, Osborne, and Marble Creek have all received their sanders. So I'll touch on some things that Dan had talked about, the flooding and the cleanup for the windstorm. The it's kind of hard for the flood because we don't know the complete damage to our road yet because we went from one disaster to another. I know before we got our snow, Mother Nature decided to show us some winter here the last couple of weeks. We have been up still cleaning. The Smelterville crew's been up the Coeur d'Alene River corridor. My crew's been up helping the Murray shop up there, cleaning up Pritchard Creek, Beaver Creek. Our district didn't get hit as hard, the Osborne district. We were pretty fortunate, so we got most of ours cleaned up. So that will, like Dan said, that's going to go on for a while to get that cleaned up and then assess the damage to our roads yet. I'm trying to get Idaho Forest Group and I'm not sure if it's the Western Conference or the Conixu Land Trust, but whoever has the trust up there now on Pritchard Creek, we have to get in there and do some work to get that creek back over in its original bed, because if we get a heavy runoff, we're going to have issues with Pritchard Creek Road again. So that's still in the making. We're still trying to get that taken care of, but until winter's done, we're not going to be able to assess the complete damage on the roads. The last thing I want to talk about is, and everybody's aware of the problems we're having with the trucks going up the river. We've got people calling that are upset about it. I had a conversation with a gal yesterday. County roads, we've done pretty much all we can do. We got signage on 9 Mile. We got it on the Coeur d'Alene River going up. Just today alone, there's 5 trucks up there stuck. Just today. This doesn't, it inhibits what we do for plowing. It gets in our way. The school bus, we had to reroute school bus up the river this morning, couldn't go over Dobson, so now we got school kids that are late to school. I do know the county's up there. The state DOT, Jerry Stem, is up there. So he's passing out tickets, I would imagine. We don't have, county roads don't have the answer. I know the sheriff's department don't. It all comes down to their GPS. When these guys get pulled over, they're asked pretty much the same question. Did you see the signs? Those who can read and speak English, yes, we did see the signs. Why did we go past them? Because our GPS says we can get to Chicago by going over 9 Mile. We can get to Ontario, Canada by going over Thompson Pass. These are the responses that the county sheriff and the DOT guys are getting. So we could put up a billboard every 100 feet up there, but they're going to drive right by them because that GPS says they can get to where they're going. It's not going to end. It's just, I think, but what's crazy is the fact that it's happening more when it snows. It doesn't seem to be a problem when it's nice weather. It's when it snows.
They're trying to avoid the passes that require them to chain up.
You're probably right.
And so
These
roads don't have the chain up requirements, and so
Yeah.
they think they can go that way.
It's either training up or the way station, one of the two.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on in Public Works. That's the big thing for us, though, is the truck problem up there. It's just, it ain't going away anytime soon. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Solid waste?
No, thanks. I don't have anything, just get your stickers, that's it.
Get your stickers.
Everything's going pretty good. Nothing real new at the main lot there. We've been working with HMH on the engineering for the floor. Little questions and answers here and there, so hopefully that'll be done soon. Then we can get that out to bid and get that project started. We do have a new designed bin up in Murray. Now the whole lid opens up. The thought behind it is maybe we'll get less damage to it. Pretty much every time a bin comes down from there, we're having to repair it because the doors are being ripped off. There's no respect up there. I don't know what's going on, but so if this new design works, we'll go ahead and start building it into the other bins that we have. So it's up there right now, kind of trial, see what works, what doesn't, in hopes that it does work. But that's a problem all in itself. But yeah, other than that, everything's been going good. So pretty basic winter.
Are we moving forward on getting our heat and air conditioning?
Yeah, so we're waiting on his scheduling. He's got all the parts ordered. So once he has it, he'll schedule it with us and come get all that installed.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
No.
No?
Appreciation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's exhausting
I had
hearing
to
all the
go-
work we're
I had to
doing.
go back that I didn't put on my list. As most of you probably know, James resigned from us last month in January. And so we've been in the search for a official building inspector. That's been difficult to do. So if anybody knows somebody that has those skills, have them come talk to me. It's just, we're struggling to find, applicants, period, let alone qualified ones. And it's the same old stories ever. It's a lot of job for the pay. But certainly I want to put it out there to the community as well, that there is a job out there, and then hopefully we can find somebody to fill it.
Okay, thank you. Anything, either commissioner?
No. Thank you
Public
for
comment? Oh, go ahead.
thank you for all your work.
Public comment? None? Okay, well, thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
We're adjourned.